Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been spouting off about her Green New Deal for months. To the non-discerning eye, it would almost seem like she actually had a plan. And not just a plan, a wonderful, brilliant, flawless plan, all thought out step by step. Because if you're going to brag about how awesome your ideas are, you should probably have some actual awesome ideas to back it up. But AOC is part of the new generation of politicians where you can tweet or Instagram your way to popularity and it doesn't actually matter if you don't have a grasp of even the simplest of economics because, hey, you are super cool. According to AOC herself, 92% of Democrats and 64% of Republicans supported her Green New Deal before it was even released. But that was before they knew what was in it. Once it was released, there was basically a resounding chorus of "Bless her heart." The short version is that AOC plans to get rid of all carbon emissions, all combustion engines, all cars, all airplanes, all farting cows, and upgrade every building in America to peak green efficiency all in 10 years, while also single-handedly demolishing racism and poverty forever with the power of chocolate unicorns and rainbow-vomiting ponies. Also, those ponies are going to shit cushy government jobs for everyone, all for the low price of $50 trillion. At least according to several economic and power studies. But never mind that price tag, because according to Ocasio-Cortez and her comrades, asking about the price tag is code for having problems with commitment.
Shun the non-believer! Shun!
An official, unofficial doctored draft copy of the Green New Deal and accompanying FAQ were released last week, but because it was so awful and embarrassing and stupid and talked about farting cows, AOC wants you to know that it was really a plant document from her file server on her website accidentally uploaded by her staff, who are secretly Republican agents trying to take her down because they're all scared she's gonna stick it to the man. Incidentally, the same doctored FAQ and an equally doctored overview were planted with NPR for a press release 2 days later, but that too was part of the GOP conspiracy to take her down and somehow wasn't caught in time. Or something like that. I mean, I get it. I couldn't get through any of it without laughing. The plan really did deserve as much lying and backpedaling and damage control as it got, as it kind of reads like the utopian vision of a 12-year-old. The loftiest of AOC's Green New Deal goals is to achieve 100% net zero greenhouse emissions with a fair and just transition that she doesn't explain anywhere at all, except that according to the FAQ, it won't involve nuclear power. In fact, we're also going to totally eliminate nuclear power and not replace it with anything. This is what she calls a clear plan. The clear plan also involves getting rid of fossil fuels with no clear replacement, though 4 days later, an AOC spokesperson swore up and down on Tucker Carlson that the part about getting rid of fossil fuels is not actually about getting rid of fossil fuels. You see, we can't fully get rid of fossil fuels within the Green New Deal timeline because we aren't sure that we'll be able to fully get rid of farting cows and airplanes that fast. According to a team of Stanford engineers, making the U.S. a clean and zero-emissions country would require installing 335,000 onshore wind turbines, 154,000 offshore wind turbines, millions of solar panels, and altogether would require more land mass than the state of California. No big deal. And that's not even accounting for all the fancy new smart power grids she wants. Part of the Green New Deal will also be to rid the world of all combustion engines. She claims that her resolution spells out exactly how to eliminate cars and fossil fuels, and she does. She provides the very specific solution of investment in zero-emission vehicle infrastructure and manufacturing in Section 2, subsection H, and build charging stations everywhere. Literally everywhere. The dog groomer Burger King, your second-floor bathroom, the frozen food aisle. While we're at it, let's also just seize a bunch of land to build a high-speed rail as part of the clean transportation bit. The goal, again from the part with the farting cows, is to eventually get rid of airplanes. Never mind that would cost Americans over 700,000 jobs, and that this high-speed rail would somehow have to find a way across thousands of miles of ocean, sometimes in places so deep that humans have never even been there. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the ocean is, on average, about 12,000 feet deep, and over 80% of it is unmapped, unexplored, and unobserved. But we're going to find a way to build a high-speed rail over it, or through it, using nothing but wind and solar power. Cool beans! This is one of the things that AOC's office and media darlings now swear up and down never happened, but it's right there on page 5 of the overview provided to NPR. By the way, California wanted a high-speed rail and then canceled the program because it was too expensive. The railway was only supposed to cross the state and yet was going to take over 10 years and $77 billion. But let's build one out to Hawaii. The government will also use this Green New Deal to create millions of good, high-wage jobs, even though the government doesn't create jobs and the market does. But who cares about economics when you have all that job fertilizer from the job ponies and those fart-free cows? And not only will the government create those jobs out of thin air, it will guarantee that all of those jobs have a family-sustaining wage, because we're past the point of that whole living wage thing, and now we need a family wage, as well as family and medical leave, vacation, and retirement. And if you don't want to work, no problem. The Green New Deal will also give free money to anyone who is unable or unwilling to work. This is somehow necessary for a green economy. AOC also says the Green New Deal would ensure healthy food and access to nature for all people in the United States for generations to come. So I guess we're getting rid of all the McDonald's and the KFCs and then busing all the city folks out to the woods every couple of days. Oh, that's right, but we're not supposed to have buses. Along with healthy food, the government is going to promise clean water for everyone, just like it did in Flint, Michigan. Ocasio-Cortez also wants the government to upgrade all existing buildings in the United States and build new buildings to achieve maximal energy efficiency, water efficiency, safety, affordability, comfort, and durability. Let me repeat, the government is going to upgrade all 5.6 million commercial buildings, all 137 million housing units, all 139,000 schools, and it's going to be affordable. Your new efficient smart house hooked up to the new efficient smart power grid is going to be the cheapest it's ever been. Finally, but most importantly, the Green New Deal is going to promote justice and equity by stopping current, preventing future, and repairing historic oppression of Indigenous communities, communities of color, migrant communities, deindustrialized communities, depopulated rural communities, the poor, low-income workers, women, the elderly, the unhoused, people with disabilities, and youth. Along with this, we're going to honor all past and present treaties with Indigenous peoples. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of cars, and then we're going to give everyone a job, jack up their housing and electricity prices, and then that is going to stop racism and give all the Indians their land back. The biggest irony of this whole thing is that the very first bullet point on the overview provided to NPR is how important it is that AOC and company get to take credit for coming up with it. But remember, this is a fake plant document, or maybe just a draft document, but at the very least, it's a doctored document, and by no means is she taking credit for something that she stressed the need to take credit for. So, you might ask, how is this all going to be paid for? Well, since you have problems with commitment and need to know, just remember, it's a massive investment. massive investment, massive investment, massive investment. According to the FAQ document, even if every billionaire and company came together and were willing to pour all the resources at their disposal into this investment, the aggregate value of the investments they could make would not be sufficient. Okay, so then what's the answer? Well, we'll just build more banks. This is her legitimate answer. The Federal Reserve can extend credit to power these projects and investments, and new public banks can be created to extend credit. So basically, the government is going to swipe it on the big old magic government credit card. But credit cards still need to get paid. But she reminds us that this is the same way that we paid for bailouts and wars and QE programs. But that doesn't make it right. Just because you spent decades making a mistake does not mean you should keep making the same mistake. And then, when all of the US citizens are sitting there shouldering the government's unpaid credit cards, the question won't be how we pay for it, but will be what we do with our new shared prosperity. That is your Liberty-related news for today. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Tell me if you were able to watch this video without laughing. I wasn't able to do it without laughing. And if you want to help support my channel in other ways, you can do so over on Patreon or through a one-time donation through PayPal or crypto. Until next time, thanks for watching and helping me to spread the message of liberty.